Day in my life as a 24-year-old visiting Connecticut, and buckle up because I feel like I did so much today. I recently started trying to post on LinkedIn every day, so I got my post up and then I joined a meeting for one of my clients. At this point, it was about noon, so I went upstairs to visit Asher and I woke him up from a nap. I had returns that I needed to make for so long, but I just did not have a box big enough, but I finally got one, so then I headed over to the UPS store and I went to Trader Joe's to do a quick little restock, so I had some things to make for lunch and a snack. Then I headed to Shelton to go to Retail 101. I have actually been wanting to go here for probably 2 years, and the timing has just never worked out. I think they used to have a location somewhere else in Connecticut that was further away, and then I almost went over the summer and they had moved to New Jersey, but I'm so happy I was able to go. This was crazy. It was so much bigger than I was expecting. I made a whole separate video on this if you're looking for all of the details. It's just a massive discount warehouse with pieces from the Urban umbrella. I was in here for about an hour, but it felt like 3 hours because there's no windows or sunlight or cell service, but I got a few things and then I sprinted home so that I could get ready for an event at night. This was my first time going to a little brand or influencer event in Connecticut. I don't think there's as many, especially in the Fairfield County area. I did meet somebody at the event who's from Hartford. He was saying that there are things happening in Hartford County, but from what I've seen, there are rarely influencer events in Fairfield or Fairfield County area, so I knew I had to make it to this one. I got a ride to the train station, and I'm actually realizing now I probably could have driven myself. But one thing about me is I actually do not like to drive. That's why New York City is so good for me, because public transportation is all I need. And I have astigmatism, so if you know, you know, my eyes and driving at night just do not do well. It was kind of an accident that I brought my Stanley with me, but I realized it was fine because it was such a short train ride and I was getting right into the car after. Jason picked me up. I was so panicked when I got to the Stamford train station. I don't know what happened, but I ended up walking over a bridge to a parking garage, and then I took an elevator down and I ended up on the side of the road near no other people. But eventually I found a girl who was walking her dog and she pointed me in the right direction. So I got into his car and we headed over to RPM Raceway in Stamford. They were having an event to celebrate the grand reopening because they redid their racing track. I made a whole other video going into depth on this night, but we had so much fun. When we checked in, they gave us a wristband for the open bar, and then we also got cards for 3 hours of unlimited arcade games. We definitely should have checked in for the race right as we got there. I didn't realize it would be as crowded as it was. So we checked in and there was a bit of a wait for our race, but we just walked around, explored the space, and talked to some other people who were there. Monster Energy had a booth. We checked out the bowling alley, and it was also just cool to watch the racetrack because it's a 2-story one and people go so fast. We almost left before it was time for our race, but we decided we were so deep in, we would just wait. So we got called down, we got all suited up. When they clipped me into my helmet, I got a little bit scared and I ended up going so slow, but I was panicked because I was the first one to start, so I had to let everybody pass me. But you can get up to 45 miles per hour on this track. Overall, we had such a fun night though. I did so much today and I would love to go to more events in Connecticut.